Hi students, welcome back to Geology. This is our last video in our series of fossils and fossilization. We're going to go over some notable California fossils, and throughout the video there is going to be some videos that you can watch on your own that are linked that I think are cool to learn about each different fossil. All right, so as we go through this, I want you to think about how could animals like mammoths, marine reptiles, and giant bears all be found in California's fossil record? Remember that California is vast, and we have a lot of examples of different things in your textbook. All right, so some of the main California fossils that we're going to go through are trilobites, giant short-faced bear, smilodon, mammoth, plesiosaur, mosasaur, hadrosaur. It's not all of the fossils that are found in California, but it's some of the big ones that are important, or a lot of students like them, so I talk about them. And then our smilodon is our California state fossil. All right, so trilobites. These are very particular to the Cambrian to Permian time, so they're found in a very specific time frame, which makes them a really good index fossil. They have 3 lobes, so you can kind of see 3 segments there on the specimen. Like I said, they're a good index fossil, so they were widespread. They weren't just California fossils. They were found globally, and they were found for a specific period of time, which it's a 20 million year time span, but they weren't found anywhere outside of that. The closest living relative is the horseshoe crab, which still exists in the ocean today. And then, as I mentioned before, there's a video there, the trilobite video, that you can watch if you want to learn a little bit more about trilobites than what I just talked about. The giant short-faced bear is kind of similar to the bears that we see on Earth today, but it's much larger. So it is about twice the size of a black bear. Or not a black bear, a grizzly bear, excuse me. It stands at about 6 feet on all fours. When it stands on its hind legs, it goes up to about 8 feet, 9 feet tall. They lived between 1.8 million and 11,000 years ago, so they died with a lot of the other Pleistocene mammals 11,000 years ago. And there's a diagram there kind of showing you just how tall it is next to a 6-foot man. And then there's a video there of the giant short-faced bear. All right, the smilodon. This is California state fossil. A lot of people think these are a lot taller than they are, but there's a 6-foot man in the upper right there showing you compared to the smilodon. It was only about 41 inches in height on all fours, so it's not huge. They lived about 500 million years ago, and they also died 11,000 years ago with the rest of the Pleistocene mammals. They are by far way more muscular than any other feline species in the fossil record or living today. They would take up to 3 years to fully grow their front canines, which is kind of their big characteristic feature, are those huge 10 to 12 inch saber canine teeth, which were often thought to be a cutting tool. So essentially what they would do is they would take those 2 canines and kind of go for the jugular and do an initial strike. And then as the animal started to die from bleeding out, it would start scavenging with all of its other teeth. And there's a video there for you to watch if you would like. Mammoth lived in the Pleistocene as well. They also died around 11,000 years ago when climate changed. They are a relative to our elephants that we have on Earth. I think the Asian elephant is probably the closest to the mammoth, but they were also globally spread. There are some that have been found in the La Brea tar pits and in the Fairmead landfill, which is in Madeira. There's this one on the bottom right is a display mammoth that they have in the La Brea Tar Pits Museum, which is really cool to go see just how big these mammoths were. And then there's a video there for you as well. Moving on to some dinosaur adjacent specimens. The plesiosaur lived 203 million years ago. It was the sea monster. It looked like Nessie, or how Nessie is described. It has a long neck with paddle front and back limbs. It could be up to 49 feet in length. So these lived in the ocean. They were not freshwater, they were saltwater organisms. And there is a video there for you if you would like to learn more about the plesiosaur. The mosasaur, this one is shown in Jurassic World. I think all three of them, it shows it. But the mosasaur also was a sea-dwelling organism. It would eat plesiosaurs, other mosasaurs. It lived 145 million to 61 million years ago, so it died with the extinction of the dinosaurs. It was 33 to 59 feet in length, and it could be up to 30,000 pounds. So really large, kind of similar to a crocodile, but all saltwater, no freshwater variations of it. All right, and there's a video there for you as well. And the last one here that we'll talk about is the hadrosaur, which is definitely a dinosaur. This one lived between 85, 86 million years to 66 million years when the dinosaurs went extinct. It was about 10 feet in height, and it weighed 15,000 to 18,000 pounds. And they've learned through trace fossils and looking at some of the ways in which the fossils were preserved that they seem to be very maternal. A lot of them were found around their nests where they would have had their eggs. And so very interesting to learn that a dinosaur or an organism outside of a human would be that maternal. And there's a video there about how they assembled one in a museum. All right, in summary, in California, we have a large variety of fossils. I only talked about very few. But in your notes, I would like you to resonate with one of them. So choose one of them that I talked about and describe what it reveals about the environment it might have lived in. Think about when it lived and how it was preserved. I'll see you guys in the next videos. Bye.